Today on HandyDadTV, we are talking about the legality of free live streaming on the internet. Coming up. Welcome to HandyDadTV. I'm Chris Hyder, your virtual dad in the cloud, and I am here again with Officer Mike. Thank you for coming, Mike. We are going to discuss today a topic that is run rampant lately. You do remember Napster?
I do.
Okay. But I want to just go slow for a moment. Napster was a file sharing craze that was in, I guess, the 90s, and it got shut down.
Right.
Okay. But I want to go, let's start with something. Pandora. I don't know if you've ever used Pandora, but it is there's an app on your phone or a website that you can listen to music for free, but there's commercials on it.
Right. Yes.
Right. So if I listen to an Ed Sheeran song on Pandora, how do I know Pandora is actually paying him a royalty? I don't, right?
Right.
Okay. Same thing is true for movies. If I stream a movie on Netflix, how do I know they're paying a royalty to the movie company? I don't.
Right.
But I have to trust that they are. I'm the consumer. I paid them for the use of it, or I watched an ad and I got to watch their content. But let me go somewhere with you. So let's take The Great Gatsby for example. Let's say I go to Best Buy and I pay, I don't know, $19.99 and I buy The Great Gatsby. And I bring it home and I watch it. Not a problem. I paid for it. I don't know if Best Buy paid for it, but I assume they did. If I lend this to you, are you breaking the law by watching it?
Absolutely not.
Am I breaking the law by letting you watch it?
Absolutely not. It's your...
Right. I bought it.
Right. You purchased it.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever buy one of these on the streets of New York City?
A long time ago, sure.
So if I bought this on the streets of New York City for well below retail,
Right.
and I watch it, there's two parties there, the guy that sold it to me and me.
Right.
Anybody break the law? Not that I know of.
Correct.
Okay, that's how I would say it.
Correct.
If I lend it to you, there's three parties involved. You have no idea. You just watch it, right? But you can't tell if it's a fake or not. Let's say the guy told me when I bought it, I said, how could you sell these things for so cheap? And he said, I get them off the internet and I burn them to my own disk. And here, $3.
That would... Right. That's...
Who's breaking the law, though? Him or me?
The end user is not. You're actually may have in the back of your head, okay, maybe it fell off the back of a truck, or like you said, the guy downloaded it, copied it.
But he's the one that broke the law.
Correct.
Okay.
That's where the problem lies, but not for us.
The only way to truly hide your identity online is with a VPN, or virtual private network. And the only VPN I use is PureVPN. Don't waste your time with supposedly free VPN services. They're all garbage. PureVPN is a commercial-grade service that costs just a couple dollars a month and lets you use the internet completely anonymously while insulating your home network from malicious hackers. You can install PureVPN on individual devices in your home or right in your router and protect the whole network. Listen, privacy is a basic human right, and you'll get no judgment from me about what you're doing online. But if you really want online privacy, click the link in the video description to try PureVPN free for 7 days.
There's a service today, I mean, there's not Napster anymore, but there are still file sharing mechanisms on the internet that you can download copies of movies and you could watch them yourself. And that's where it all comes back to the legality of, is it the person who puts it up on the internet that is breaking the law, or the one who downloads it, or both? And I personally think there's a moral, something morally that says, hey, you know that's almost like receiving stolen goods.
Correct. Right.
You know it's wrong, and yet you're doing it.
You're getting something for free.
Right. And you can't necessarily just point it to, well, it's that guy, he did it. But the thing about it is today, it's not just, you don't have to download movies to watch them. You can Google, you can go stream The Great Gatsby. Just put it right in Google. You will come up with websites that you can go and watch this. But there are ads on those websites.
Right.
And so that's where I come back to, should the public be worried about, well, are those ads actually paying for the movie, or are those ads just paying somebody off in some other country and they're just lining their pockets with it? I don't know, but that's the way the world is today, is that there's so many of...
True. People want something for a bargain or for nothing.
Yeah.
However, even with Napster, I know it went to court, and there were lawsuits left and right, and eventually it was resolved, and then we had to pay for songs. It's copyright infringement.
Yeah.
However, nobody that downloaded all the songs that they wanted prior to Napster being shut down got in trouble. It's something that can't be controlled.
Right. Well, but the funny thing is, these days there's another app called Kodi, Kodi. Not the name of your dog.
Yeah.
Spelled different.
That's new for me. Yes.
It's got a dog named Kodi. But anyway, there's these apps like Kodi, and there's another one called Terrarium TV that you can download these things. You can put them on a Fire Stick, or you can put them on your computer or an Android tablet or something like that, and you can access these copied movies, the ones that are uploaded on the internet somewhere, and you can live stream them as if they were Netflix. And again, there's a moral question, and then there's the actual legality of it. I mean, if there's millions of people doing it, you wonder how could they enforce it. But you know what? If you do get caught, and you know that it's wrong, you know that it's a stolen movie that nobody's getting paid for, you could be held liable for that. You could be fined, or who knows what, because I know people have. I know. And now that you've heard about net neutrality, right? Where they basically, your internet service provider now has the ability to charge you extra for different things, or shut down things that it might not think you should be able to get to.
Correct.
So sites like that, or capabilities like that, might go away eventually. So there's definitely, it's an interesting time to be in this environment that we're in.
If one thing I see occurring over and over as we go through our lives, and computer and software and all the technological aspects become more streamlined, is that some politician somewhere will have an input and get up on their soapbox and say, this is not fair to this person because this is their work, they're not getting paid for it. And those sites may go away, or I think you mentioned it already, yes, you want this app, pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it still comes back to, as a consumer, I can't necessarily tell whether the movie company is making money. You know, their royalties are being made, and these stars are actually making their royalties too. I can't tell. So that's the hard part for me, is to know, well, what actually is legit. But I do think, though, there is a voice in the back of my head when I go to something like that. If it's not on Netflix and it's not on, HBO on demand or whatever, and some of these things you can't even rent on Amazon. So you sometimes get tempted to go and search and find a movie just because you want it.
That was well put, though. The voice in your back of your head, I was leaning towards that. I didn't quite know how to say it, but if it walks like a duck, it usually, if you have that voice in the back of your head saying something's not right here,
right,
there's your moral compass.
Right.
And you're absolutely right.
You're right. It's like...
We know. Are we still going to do it? Probably.
Well, some people do.
Some people do. A lot of some people do.
But other people have that strong moral compass and say, no, I'm not going to do that. Because nowadays, I got to tell you, everything is traceable. And people have said they've gotten nasty grams for watching movies on Kodi. So,
okay,
it is possible.
I know maybe I'm being...
They can crack down on that kind of thing. And you know what? They could levy a fine that says you watched these 500 movies without paying any kind of royalties. Therefore, this is what you're going to have to pay. I don't know.
YouTube. I know there are movies on YouTube also.
Yeah, well, YouTube, though, has copyright protections, because I can't even use copyrighted music as background beds in my videos without them getting flagged.
All right.
So you have to use specifically non-copyrighted music or stuff that is in the general public. But that's pretty easy to do. There are a lot of choices these days. But you can't. I just can't take a Katy Perry song and put it in my my videos.
You're absolutely right. Everything is traceable.
Yes, it is.
Something's embedded somewhere.
Yep.
In that stream, and they know, the end user, how much do they encroach upon the general public that pays for almost everything until they say, okay, you can't do that anymore. Okay, well, who's making the money then?
Right.
And it's, I don't have a good answer for that.
I don't, it's, somebody above me, smarter than me, is figuring out copyright law. I don't know about it, but I do know people have stolen my videos and re-uploaded them to YouTube so they could make their own money off of them or get their own subscribers. And there is the way to turn them in, but I'm left to do that myself. I'm not big enough for YouTube to actually look for my content, and see that somebody's infringing on my copyright.
Even as fast as technology is, there's always somebody faster that's going to know how to twist it into, I can make $1 with that. Yes.
Absolutely. So
smart people.
It all comes back to, and you heard it here from Officer Mike, it comes back to your moral compass. And right from wrong. You were taught it in kindergarten or even before. And downloading movies illegally is wrong. And yet, if you still do it, that's on you.
Just because you don't get caught doesn't make it correct or right.
That is right. Coming from two experienced dads.
Well put.
Well put. All right. Thank you, Officer Mike. Once
pleasure.
again, folks, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave comments below if you have any comments on this content or you have any other questions that you'd like me to ask Officer Mike in the future. And I will see you in the next one.
Visit my website, HandyDadTV, for more great ideas and information. Be sure to subscribe to be the first to know when new videos are posted.